Good morning, everyone. Happy December. Thank you for joining us again here for Compassion in the Classroom. My name is Stacy. If you don't remember, it's nice to see everybody. So thanks for joining us. Today, we're going to have a lot of fun and we're going to meet a lot of cute dogs. So December is going to be all about the dogs and what we can do to keep them safe and what you can think about if you have a dog at home or a pet at home and what you can do to keep them safe. If you have a dog at home, I want you to put your finger on your nose. I bet there's lots of fingers on noses out there. We always have lots of dogs. So that's a lot of fun that we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to show you some cuties right here. I'm going to turn my camera around and we're going to see. These are pretend dogs, aren't they? We're going to see some stuffed animal dogs here first, because I want to talk about how we get so many animals at the Humane Society. We've talked about, if you've been here before, we talked about that we help 40,000 animals every single year. That is a lot of animals. So how do they come to us? How do all of those animals get to the animal shelter? Well, the number one way that we get animals is if they are stray. Has anyone heard that word before? If an animal is stray, they are lost. So maybe they got out of their yard, maybe they were off leash and ran away. Maybe they got out through a hole in the fence. There's lots of ways that we get animals in here. So it's our job to think about keeping them safe, right? So if they are getting through a hole in the fence, what do we need to do? We need to have our parents fix that hole in the fence, right? Or have someone do that or cover it up. Or if we're walking our dogs off leash and they run away, we shouldn't have them off leash. So there's lots of ways we can think about to keep our pets safe so they don't come in stray or lost. We get hundreds of animals every week who are lost, and we want them to be with their families, right? So I'm going to pretend that these three dogs, these very cute dogs, these three dogs came into the shelter and someone found them and said, these dogs are lost. So I want you, just by looking at these dogs, let's see, I'll show you around. We have this little beagle friend here. And then we got this little guy. We have this little Chihuahua here. And then we have this little tiny dog here. Just by looking at these dogs and what they have, who can tell me, who do you think, which dog do you think will get back home the easiest? By just looking at these guys and looking at their bodies, can anyone out there tell me which dog do you think is going to get home the quickest, or maybe find their way back to their family? I'm going to give you a second to think about it, because we've got this one. Any ideas out there who might get back home? We're going to do a full body view here. We got the Chihuahua, the Beagle, and the cute small one. Any guesses? All right.
I don't see anything in the chat, Stacy.
Okay, nothing in the chat. All right, well then I know what I see. When I look at this Beagle, I don't see anything on them, right? So they came in, there's no way for me to tell who their family is, right? When I look at this tiny little one, I don't see anything on them either. No way for me to tell who their family is. But this guy, their family put on a collar and tags. So this dog's going to have the easiest time getting home, right? Because when they come to the shelter, we can look real close and it says, can you call my mommy? Mia says that. Can you call my mommy? And then gives us a phone number. So our staff here, or even if someone found them, like let's say your family found this dog, they would be able to call this phone number and say, hey, we have your Chihuahua. We want to make sure they get back to you. You can come pick them up at the shelter, or where do you live? So that is a great way. So this dog's gonna have the easiest time because they have this amazing ID tag on. And you can get these at the Petco or PetSmart. You can make one for your pet. And then they have this other blue tag that says the name of where I work. It says San Diego Humane Society on it. And this cool blue tag has other information on the back. This is what we call, that's hard to see, a license. So everybody should license their dog, and you do that through the Humane Society. And that's another way that they can get back home. So even if this tag fell off with the phone number, we would, if this dog was brought to the Humane Society, we'd be able to look up their information by this special number. That's hard to see. By this special number and letters, we could type that into the computer and find out who they are. So this dog is going to be really, really lucky because we can call their family and say, hey, come pick up Mia. She really, really misses you and she'll get back home. So their pet, her family was really responsible by putting on this collar and making sure that she had these tags. There's this other yellow tag that says home again, and it also has a big long number on it, which is not a phone number, but belongs to something cool called a microchip. Has anyone out there ever heard of a microchip? A microchip is really cool. So this is a permanent ID. So these tags, they can fall off. Maybe the collar can fall off. So sometimes even if you put a collar on, it gets stuck on something and maybe your dog got lost and these came off. So what you can do to make double safe that your pet will be safe is you can give them a microchip. So do you see this tiny little thing here, right here? Boop. That tiny little thing is about the size of a grain of rice. And what we do with that is we take this shot, our veterinarians do, our staff, and we can actually, we're going to put it right under their skin. We would take it out of this bag, but we would put the needle boop, right there, and we would push it down, and the microchip would go under the dog's skin, and it stays there forever. So when you get a shot, it kind of hurts, and you go, ouch, but then you rub your arm and it feels better. That's the same thing. So we just give them a little shot, and they go, oh, and then it's all done, and that microchip is under their skin forever, and it stays there. So then why that's really important is if this doggy gets lost, then we are going to take our cool microchip scanner. Have you ever seen them scan groceries at the grocery store? Well, that's kind of what we do with our special scanner. So we take this and we turn it on. It says it's ready. So, and it says searching. So what I'm going to do is scan. I don't know if you heard that beep, but that beep means that this dog has a microchip. So our veterinarian gave this cute little beagle a microchip. So even though this dog came in without a collar, we can still scan them for a microchip. And then we're going to type this number into our computer, and it's going to tell us the family's name and phone number and address. And then we can call them and say, hey, your dog is here. Please come get them. So that's another way. So this dog, let's see if this dog had a microchip. So we'll go back to searching, and then we go beep. And this dog also had a microchip. So this family was double responsible. They made sure their pet had some tags and an ID tag and a microchip. So they're for sure going to make sure their dog gets home if their dog is lost. And then so these two guys, we can call their families, and they're going to make it back home, which is where we want them to be, right? This little one, no collar. Let's see, searching if we can find a microchip. Uh-oh, I don't hear any beep. What does it say? No ID found. So do we know who to call if they don't have a tag with their phone number? If they don't have a microchip with their phone number? We don't know who to call, right? So when there's no ID found, what happens is this little guy is going to go on what we call a stray hold, and we're going to hold them at the shelter for 3 days. So if you lose your pet, your family needs to call the Humane Society or come to the Humane Society or look on our website and say, and file a lost pet report and say, hey, my dog is missing or I'm looking for them. And then that way you can come get them. Because if someone doesn't come claim this doggy after 3 days, they're going to go up for adoption and they can be available for another family to adopt them. So you always want to make sure that you're putting tags and a collar on your dog and that you have microchip. We're actually going to have a free microchip event this weekend. And Miss Laura is going to put the information in the chat for the teachers to share with you. But you can get your dog microchipped for free or your cat microchipped for free this weekend. And then you can make sure that if they get lost, they're always going to find their way back home to you, which is where we want them to be, right? That is where we want them, home with you. And that's where they want to be. They want to be home with you. every single dog, every single cat, and every single rabbit before they get adopted. So that's another reason that we always say adoption is the best option. It's the best way to go because I'm going to go into this building because then when you adopt, that pet already has their microchip. So they're already done with that. So, oh my gosh, you might already see these. Oh, they're in the room. Okay, we're going to use these puppies right here, my friends, because there are puppies everywhere today. So these little guys are all from different litters. So you might see that they all look a little different, don't they? And there's a little tiny one over there. This is Michelle. Say hi, Michelle. She's one of our amazing foster volunteers. So she has these puppies at her house and she is helping them grow up to be the best puppies that they can be. So she also has a really, really important job at her house when she has these puppies to keep them safe, right? So when we think about puppies, they are already trying to get my toy. So when I think of puppies, I think of biting and chewing, right? Because they put everything in their mouth before the first time they discover it, right? Hello. Oh my gosh, we have some cute ones here. I bet you're here in person. So these are all going to be up for adoption, but you can see they are toy, and maybe Miss Michelle might even need to get that the tag off because I didn't do that first, which is silly. And that's what they're of course choosing to chew on, aren't they? So when we're talking about keeping these puppies safe, Michelle has a really important job at her house because how many of you have little brothers or sisters? Maybe toddlers, and they're walking around and you have a big job to keep them safe, right? You have to make sure that they don't touch plugs or maybe grab something that's going to hurt them. We have to keep them safe. So she has to do the same with her puppies. So she's going to make sure that they can't get into any foods that wouldn't be safe for them. And you know what? I think about Christmas and the holidays coming up. There's gonna be lots of chocolate, lots of candy. And so you have to make sure that your pets can't get into that kind of thing. They're also just gonna chew everything, right? So she kind of, we're chewing the blanket right there. They're chewing each other. So you have to make sure that you're putting them, if you've ever had a puppy, that you're giving them safe things to chew, like we just did with this toy right here, right? And you see how they're all playing with each other? This is such an important time for them. So you can see, though they want their close up, don't they? That they're learning to play. So you always want to make sure that puppies stay with each other until they are at least 8 weeks old, because you can see, I mean, I'm going to give them some more toys to chew on, but you can see just how much fun they're having chewing on that one. But until that time, you can see they're learning to play with each other. So they're learning how to be good dogs, because if one of the dogs is really annoying or maybe jumping all over the other dog and doing mischievous things, the other puppies are going to say, hey, don't do that. They might snap at them or they might growl. And those are their ways of communicating and saying, hey, I don't want you to do that. So then they learn to have good puppy manners, right? So that's how that helps for them to stay together. So you just heard that noise, maybe, and that was their way of saying, hey, stop that, or don't take that from me. And then that helps them to learn good manners and be able to play well when they grow up. And so this one says, well, fine, I'll just come over here and chew on this. And you can see also the responsibility of puppy. What am I showing you? Pee spots, because that happens, right? So when you're getting a puppy, you're choosing, oh, there we go. You're choosing a big responsibility when you get a puppy, that you're going to make sure that they need to learn all those things about going potty and house training. They need to learn about, oh, there's there you go. Miss Jordan is seeing that little tag on there and she says, that's not safe. So that's perfect. So we're keeping, we don't want them to chew on that. So what's really, really important about puppy brains too, is they're learning everything, and they're learning about what's scary, what's not scary. So we want them to be introduced to all different kinds of people. Oh, look at this little puppy trying to sleep and you're walking on them. So they're going to be introduced to all kinds of people, all different sizes and heights, and people in hats and kids. And because we want them to have lots of positive experiences and learn that People are nice. And so we always want to make sure, no matter what age the animal is, that we're talking to them kindly. We never ever want them to be scared of us. So we're using kind things. So if these puppies peed in Michelle's house, she wouldn't get mad at them. She wouldn't hit them. She would just take them outside and show them where to go because they're still learning. Just like when your baby brother or sister goes potty in their diaper, we don't get mad at them. They're still learning how to go potty, right? So we also want them to hear lots of noises like, the vacuum or the dishwasher, or even if you play fireworks on the TV or thunder. So then they hear all those noises and they learn, oh, these aren't things to be scared of, right? So they learn all those things. And that's really, really, oh my goodness. And they are so cute, and puppies are so fun. And do you know what happens? Sometimes people come in here wanting to adopt a dog, and then they see these cute puppies and they lose their minds, and all of their logic and common sense leaves their bodies, right? Because they're so cute. Did you hear one of them just growled when the other one came near? And that's them communicating with each other. And that's okay, saying, hey, I'm playing with this. But when you want to think about, you don't want to just get a puppy because you see them and they're cute and because it's holiday time. You have to think about that they could live 15, 16 years. They can live a really, really long time. So I think you guys are 5 to 7 years old, I think. So you could, if you adopted a puppy like this cute little one right here, you could have them till you're 21 or 22 years old. That's a long time. So you have to make sure your family's ready for that, and that you're not just getting them because they're cute and you saw them and you didn't really think about all that responsibility and training. So Miss Michelle, are they already microchipped? Oh, so do you want to see? So see, look what's happening. See, so they get into everything, don't they? So I know this will be a funny thing to do. Maybe I'm gonna have Miss Jordan try to scan one because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film and try to.
One, so you can scan it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, perfect. So just like we did with the boop, there we go. So did you hear how quick? So they're already microchipped. So remember, so when you adopt, it's so great because they're already going to have that microchip. That was a tough job I asked Jordan to do. They're already going to have that microchip. They're going to have their spay or neuter surgery so that they don't have more puppies. Because my friends, we have so many puppies up for adoption. We have so many adult dogs up for adoption. So that spay neuter surgery is really, very important. And if you adopt, they already have it. They have their microchip, they have their shots, spay neuter surgery, and you're helping an animal who's already here and who needs a home. And there's so many puppies and dogs already available. So if you're thinking about getting a puppy, please, 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 you want to think about, oh, they said, please, you want to think about that important responsibility. You want to make sure that you can puppy proof your home. And, but they are fun if your family is ready for it, right? Oh my gosh. Does anyone have any questions about these puppies? Because I'm sure you're wanting to know about them. And you can see that these are from different litters, which means they have different moms. So that one who's sleeping over there as a pillow right now is a different age. That one's younger, and that's why she's smaller than the other ones. Any questions about these cuties? Oh, look. So do you see this ball toy right here? Some kids, some third graders from another school made those toys for our animals. And they are really enjoying them, as you can see. So any other questions or any questions about our cute little puppies? If not, I will move along. Thank you. We're going to use that for Sempra. And they say, thank you. They say, come adopt when you're ready. And then we have to, so I'm going to head on out because we are excited. So, gosh, I should not. And so I'm going to start. So I am going to be walking over here. And I'm going to also show you these guys because they are so cute. I don't know if you can see in there, but these names, I know you'll recognize these. Blitzen, Comet, Dancer, Dasher, and Prancer. Oh my gosh. What are those names? You recognize those names. I'm going to scoot in here and sorry for that. Just because these guys are so cute and I want to talk about them. What kind of doggies these are. If I can get in there. Can you see those guys over there? So these are our reindeer litter. So when we have a litter, we like to name them all kind of a theme. So this is our holiday reindeer litter. And you can see they're already very tuckered out from their last visit. They just had a few people in here. So they are very, very tired. They don't even look real, my friends. They look like little stuffed animals, don't they? So these are husky mix puppies, and they are very, very cute. And this is what the problem is. People see them and they go, oh my gosh, I got to have that husky puppy. But I'm going to tell you, friends, we have so many husky adult dogs here at the shelter because they are what we call escape artists. They like to get out of their yards. They can jump over fences easily. So a lot of people come in here and they see these husky puppies and then they adopt them because they're so cute. But you know what? Before you get a pet, you have to learn about them. And so huskies need a lot of exercise. So they're really, really active. They're going to need to go for long walks or even some runs or hikes. They need exercise for their brain, just like when you are learning your math or you're learning your spelling words, you are exercising your brain. And so you're saying, oh, what are you talking about, Stacey? Look how tired they are. Puppies sleep a lot, just like babies, but then when they grow up, even just in a couple weeks, in a few months, they're going to be really, really, really active, and they're going to need potty training, and they're going to need a secure yard or to be on leash all the time and make sure they're getting lots of exercise. So remember, please, please, please think about before you adopt and not just get drawn in by their cuteness and you can't handle it. So because like I said, we have lots and lots of adult husky puppies here. Who people adopt as puppies and then they bring them back and because they weren't able to provide enough care for them or the right kind of care. So we want to make sure that we're able to do that for them when we adopt. And so we'll peek in at a couple dogs on the way, but we're going to go meet. Hello, that's Ginny and Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe might jump up and say hello. Hi, buddy. So we're going to meet one of my favorite adult dogs. So an adult dog is a dog who, oh, here's a husky right here, Rocky. Here's Homer. Here's another husky named Butter. Can you see her back there? Hi, Butter. Oh, here she comes. I don't know if you can notice, but Butter only, oh, maybe not because she's down there. Where are you, Butter? Can you see that Butter only has one eye? So the eye that's closest to us, our veterinarians, our animal doctors had to remove. So it might have been hurting her or infected. So we had to take that out. But she is doing just fine. She can see with her one eye and she can, they easily adapt. Animals are amazing. We've had some blind animals or some deaf animals, but they're always pretty incredible. So here we have some doggies in here just enjoying some outside time while the kennel is being cleaned. And then we're gonna go in here and we're gonna visit Miss Sempra. So Sempra is a great example. Hi, Sempra, are you ready to meet everybody? A great example of why, Miss Laura is going to help me. So Sempra is a great example of why you need to put ID on your pet. So here we go. Oh, she's so excited. Hi, Sempra. Hi, Sempra. There we go. Oh my gosh, she is excited. So look at this. This is a dog who's 10 years old. That looks like a pretty, thank you. Oh my goodness, she almost knocked me over. That doesn't look like a 10-year-old to me. Look at all that energy you have. Oh my gosh, Laura just told me she was very relaxed until this moment. Hi, Sempra. She was waiting for the kids. She's just waiting for an audience, weren't you? So Sempra is a great example of why you need. Sempra is having the zoomies right now, isn't she? The zoomies are my favorite and her favorite. Oh my gosh. She is such a cutie. So Miss Sempra is 10 years old and acting like a puppy right now, isn't she? Oh my goodness. Yes. And she's got her toys he's playing with. I think she's being a show off. She says, I like being on film. Sempra is a cute little combo, doesn't she? She's like a squatty, like a basset hound body, but she has a pit bull face. And it's a really cute combination, isn't it? So Sempra came to the shelter in June. So that was about 6 months ago. So she came to the shelter in June and she was brought in with another dog by a person who found her. So she was just running around in a neighborhood and she was lost. So she didn't have a collar on, and she also didn't have a microchip. So when she came in, we did what I showed you. We scanned her with the microchip scanner, and we looked for a microchip. Oh, oh, the light. Oh, there we go. Oh, she's very nice over here. Um, I don't know what it was. So she was scanned for a microchip. Oh, there you are. Sorry, I lost you. And she did not have a microchip. So we put her on that stray hold I told you about, which is 3 days. And she and her friend were here, and her family didn't come to get her. So we don't know anything about her life before she came to us, because with a stray animal, we don't have a person to tell us about them, right? So we've had to learn about her. Um, we've had to learn about her while she's been here at the shelter. And we've learned that she is very friendly. She loves people. She's very playful. As you can see, she came into the shelter with a dog friend, so we know that she's friendly with other dogs. I've actually taken her in the car, and she rode really nicely in the car. So we try to learn all sorts of things about them. So even though we don't know what happened her first 10 years of life, we can learn about them while they're here at the shelter. So she is having to wait 6 months so far for a family. And you saw those puppies I just showed you. Do you think they're going to have to wait 6 months for a family? I probably not. They probably might not even make it through the first day of adoptions, being on the adoption floor, right? Because people see puppies and they think, oh, I want a puppy, and I can have a puppy a really long time and have them their whole life, and they're so cute. But excuse me, look at this face. I think that's pretty darn cute myself. And you can see she still has lots of fun energy, and she's really playful. And then also, do you know what Sempra would say about if she was saying why you should adopt her? She would say, I'm house trained. So I know you go potty outside, so I'm not going to have any accidents like those puppies. And then she said, I also have lots of energy, but then I like to take a good nap. So you don't have to take me for long runs to tire me out. I like to just watch Netflix at night with you or help you with your homework. So she can be a really good buddy too. So you always want to think about what's going to be a good fit for your family and not just get enamored with those puppies, right? So you want to think about the amount of time you have to spend with a dog. I know you're cute. How much space you have, how much time you have for training and those things. And that's really, really important. So you can see she is very playful. And I told you that she did not come in with a microchip, which is true, but Miss Laura is going to show us if she has one now. So at the shelter, we put a collar on her. She doesn't have tags because she doesn't have a family yet with their name and phone number. But as soon as a dog comes into our shelter, we give them their shots and we give them a microchip. So we can make sure that from now on, if they ever get lost, they will end up back with their family. So Miss Laura is going to show her and just say, hey, what's this? And she said, okay, I don't even care. And then Miss Laura's searching, and then look there. So that number belongs only to Sempra. So if Sempra ever got lost again, hopefully she will have a tag on with her new name or her name that we've given her. And we can call the family if she ever gets lost again. But hopefully she'll never end up at the shelter again once she gets adopted. And people might say, how did she get the name Sempra? Well, we did that. Our admissions counselors, they named her that when she came in. So if a dog comes in stray or an animal comes in stray, we don't know their name. They can't tell us. So we make up a name. And just like when those puppies, we gave them a name. But when you adopt, you can always change the name to something that is one of your favorites. Or if you like the name, you can keep it. And like I said, she's been here 6 months waiting for a family. Her biggest and Christmas wish and what would make her happiest is to have a family of her own, and to so she can sleep by the fireplace or the Christmas tree or whatever for the holidays and celebrate the new year with a family. So that would be her biggest wish for the holidays. And you can see that she's pretty cute. So there's lots of great features about getting an older pet. But most importantly, you just want to think about what your family is ready for and what will be the best fit. She says, maybe I don't want to be on the camera right now. But she is really enjoying that toy and chewing on it. Are there any questions, Miss Laura, about Semper, about anything that we talked about today?
Don't see any questions right now, but if anyone wants to unmute themselves to ask a question or put one in the chat, they're welcome.
Yes. And remember, also all those puppies you saw, and I would just walk through the hall and Miss Sempra. We have lots and lots of animals who are available for adoption, lots and lots of animals who are looking for a home. Right now, we have about 1,200 animals, I think. And Sempra was giving you her cute close-up and saying how sweet she is, and she's great with kids. She'd be a great family dog. So remember, when you're looking for any pet, first, please, please, please do your research and learn about them. And then come to the shelter and meet one of our animals who's ready to go home and have a loving family of their own. And then do what you can to keep them safe, right? We're going to make sure that our holiday chocolates are away and that we have our collar and their name tag and microchip all ready to go so they can make it back home. So you can think about that with your pets. And remember, if you don't have a tag or a microchip, you can get a free microchip this weekend. You can tell your parents, you can make sure that your pet gets to go back home. All dogs and cats can get a free microchip this weekend. So please come on out. We'd love to have you. We're also going to have some other free pet supplies too. So have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, everybody. And hopefully next time I see you, Semper will be in a home, and I will see you in January. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Say bye, Sempra.